guys, today's video is going to be a hair update. I wanted to wait for the 3-month milestone with my hair extensions to wait to do the next update. I know some people have requested it in the meantime, but I wanted to wait for that period of time to be over so I could really give you a good idea of how I'm getting on with the extensions and how long I feel like they're going to last. So I know that this kind of extension, I've got the Great Lengths Keratin Bonded Extension. I feel like there's a special name for it, but I don't know. I'll leave any information that I can in the information bar below. But this is the Keratin Bonded Extension, so it's actually bonded to my hair. They're not kind of tapes, although they are bonded, but they're easier to remove. They're not tapes, they're not like a weave, it's not clip-ins, it is actually individually bonded extensions, and they can last from 3 to 5 months. I don't think that they can last really past 5 months for many people, just purely because they'd start to kind of hang quite low. So this is the period where some people would be having them removed or reapplied, and I thought 3 months was a good timeline. So I've been getting on with them amazing. They are so comfortable. I can't believe I'm a total convert. If money was no object, I would be having them probably reapplied every 2 months just to make them look totally fresh, and I would just have them for the rest of my life. I'm so impressed with them. Now bear in mind I haven't experienced having them removed yet and any damage that they may have caused. I'm fairly confident that they haven't caused any damage because any of the extensions that have fallen out so far don't seem to have had much, if any, of my hair attached to them. So I'm fairly confident that they're going to be fairly damage free, but we shall see. Plus my hair was already in such a bad condition, I feel like it can't have got much worse. It was, by the time I got my hair extensions fitted, I was kind of like, this is my last ditch attempt to keep the hair that I have whilst it grows out and becomes a bit more even, and I'll talk about that in a second for those of you that haven't watched my previous videos. Before I had like a full-on pixie crop. So for me, the damage element wasn't something that was going to put me off, because I thought, well, if it damages my hair further, I'm just going to have to go for the crop anyway, because that's the state my hair was in. And I feel like it hasn't really damaged my hair at all, and my hair has grown quite a lot. I'm not so bothered about the actual length, because the issue that I had was the short sections up here, you can see. And it is getting more and more obvious, I feel like, as the hair extensions grow out. But you can see the actual top section here is really quite short compared to the length of the hair extensions. This is the one thing that's really bugged me throughout having them, is having to blend this really quite thick short layer in my hair, which is totally caused by breakage. It was something that happened during my very blonde phase, and I was having my hair coloured block blonde, and there was a chemical break, and then eventually more and more of my hair broke because of the damage. So that's why that's there. It's not like a haircut gone wrong, although I've had a similar haircut to this in the past. Time Hop keeps reminding me I once had quite a blunt layer cut into my hair, which was about like this, and my hair length wasn't that much shorter than it is right now. So I had a similar haircut once upon a time, almost on purpose. But this layer was kind of more eye level before my extensions 3 months ago. So I'm quite impressed with the growth. I didn't really think it had grown all that much, to be quite honest. And I looked back at the video and I kind of took pictures of the side of my head and thought, no, it has. And it's difficult to see when it's gradual. And obviously it still feels like a really short layer, so to me I'm like, oh, it's never going to grow out. But it has made quite a big difference in the time that I've had the hair extensions. They're really easy to look after. I've been absolutely shocked. I thought I would hate them. I thought that this was going to be a means to an end, and I'd find them really uncomfortable and really irritating. I wouldn't be able to scratch my head. I thought I was going to really not get along with them, but have them to just help to even out my hair whilst it was growing out. But it's been so easy, I can't even believe. The main things that I thought of pre-having the extensions put in were washing it, what I would have to use. I've used normal shampoo and conditioner. The Great Lengths shampoo and conditioner is really nice, but you don't have to use that. I've used all kinds of stuff, sulfate-free, not sulfate-free, loads of different shampoos and conditioners, and with no problems whatsoever. I don't think that it's like caused any damage to the bonds at all. When I wash my hair, I don't have to dry it completely. I had heard a lot about having to make sure that the bonds were 100% dry before doing anything, or like going to bed or anything. Last night, and I left my hair totally as it would be, as it would dry naturally, just so that those of you that are interested in that would see, because I thought I could totally style my hair and make it look better and make it, you know, hide everything and all that stuff, but it's not realistic. This is how I've been wearing my hair a lot of the time, like this, but also kind of pinning the sections back here to hide that little section of short hair. But this is literally, I wet my hair, I scraped it into a low ponytail and doubled it over, and then I slept on it, and this is how it dried. It's so easy to look after, and that's what's completely converted me to hair extensions. It's how low maintenance they are, and I've actually had to do less to my hair since I've had them in than when I had my kind of short uneven, all kinds of all over the place hair that I had to do something with because it would look terrible on its own. So everything that put me off the extensions initially has been everything that's like proved me wrong, and I love them so much. Now they are really expensive. I think that to have what I had done would total around £700, which is monstrously expensive if they're not going to last you. So I'm going to try and make these last as long as possible. I'm hoping to get to the 5-month mark, but between 2 months and 3 months, I've lost a lot of the extensions. So I can understand why they say 3 to 5 months, because I think if I actually did make them last to the 5-month mark, they'd probably get quite patchy. Although a few of the extensions I did actually remove myself. If you see here, if I like put my hair down to the side, you can see kind of a whole section that doesn't have the extensions in here, and that's because as they've grown out and they're getting a bit longer or further down my hair, you can, I'm never going to be able to find them now, and normally it's all I can see. Okay, there you go. So as they're getting a little bit longer and they're slipping down my hair a little bit, I don't know if you can see that, they are kind of getting in the way, and so when I was putting my hair behind my ear, I could feel that one there, but when they were really close to the front section of my hair, they were just like there, they were next to my ear all the time, they would pop forward and be really obvious. So all I did was put my straightener over the top of the bonds, and they just loosened and came out really, really easily. I like tugged on the bottom of them and they came out. No residue or anything, really, really easy. Again, I can't believe how easy they've been. So now I have these kind of front sections with no extensions in, but I prefer that to having the extensions fall forward or just being able to see them and feel them all the time. The only other thing that I would say is if I did have them fitted again, which again, it's a lot of money. I'm not saying that I wouldn't, because if I could afford to at the time, I definitely would have them fitted again. There are two things that I will, there are two things that I would do. One of the things would be I want to leave my top layer to grow a little bit longer so that I'm not as aware of it and not feeling like I have to hide it all the time, and it doesn't feel like this is kind of, I know that this was a style for people, but I'm not into it. This is kind of Brady Bunchy for me. So I've got these, when these bits go up there and this is long, I don't know, it reminds me of Linda from The Wedding Singer. But I would also have all of my hair completely dark, because the main thing that's annoyed me throughout these 3 months has been that the bonds are blonde. So in my root, you can see them there. In my roots, which are dark, and this is kind of my natural colour up here, you can see them because the extensions that were fitted were blonde. They were like this colour, and Robert from Russell Eaton in Leeds actually hand painted the tops of the extensions to blend them into this like ombre look, which is amazing. I really like the colour that he created, and I haven't had anything done to it. I know that it's kind of, it probably needs refreshing, but I'm quite impressed with the fact that it hasn't had to have anything done to the colour. So he's hand painted all that section with the same colour that he'd put on my roots, and that's great. It made it blend really well, but as they started to grow out and you could see the extensions are obviously a contrast to my natural hair colour, or the darker hair colour that he put on top. So I would go all dark all over, purely because then the bonds would be darker and everything would blend a little bit better. And I feel like at this point where they start to grow out, it would be easier to blend them and I wouldn't be as aware of them. So what's going to happen moving forward with my hair, because I know this is, you know, it's an update, but I've mainly talked about hair extensions. Really happy with the health of my hair. I've had to leave it alone, which is great for someone like me who can't leave something alone for 2 minutes. I haven't been able to do anything different to my hair, and I've barely put any heat on it, but that's quite normal for me. I'm probably going to go darker. I'm kind of on the fence, and it's all going to depend on what happens when these come out and where I'm at with the growth of these short sections here. But I think I'm probably going to go darker all over and shorter, obviously, because this is going to go out, so it's going to be shorter anyway. But the actual length of my hair at the bottom section here is to about there. When you consider the length of the hair extensions, there's probably only a couple of inches of length there, but a lot of volume, given that most of the volume of my hair has been cut really, really short. So if I feel that these sections have grown long enough to blend with kind of a bob cut or a shaggy bob, then what I'm going to do is go darker all over and then shorter, probably back to something more like that I was used to, and potentially leave it to grow out a little bit longer and have some hair extensions put in again in a few months later whilst I wait for it to grow out. I'm kind of thinking I might grow out my hair now because I've really enjoyed having the length, which is, I didn't think I was gonna. I just thought this was gonna be a means to an end and then I'd go back to a choppy bob. I do really miss short hair. I miss being able to play with my parting and not worry about bonds and stuff, so I do feel like I'd want a month or so at least of no extensions, just to really enjoy kind of messing around with my hair again. But then at the same time, when I mess with my parting, you get even shorter layers now, so I don't know. I'm in like 15 minds about what to do with it next, but I'm hoping to get these to last at least another month. I'm thinking it's going to be quite difficult to get into the salon, so I think I'm going to wait until I really can't stand it anymore, then go to book, and it's going to push me to leave it even longer. But I will come back to you when that happens, when I have them removed, when I have whatever I have done next. That will be my next update, and I'll give you kind of a full rundown of how I felt about the entire process of the hair extensions, and then how it was to have them removed, damaged and all that stuff. This is just kind of an update, and so far I completely love them. Completely. If it was within my means, I would have them for the rest of my life. I'm just so comfortable with them. And you can totally just scratch your head. It's everything that you think would be terrible about them isn't. And you can also get a special great, I don't know if it's like a specific kind of brush and you can buy it from anywhere, but Great Lengths do sell a brush, which I have, that's like duo levels of bristles. And I can go all the way through my hair, touching my scalp and everything, and it doesn't catch any of the bonds. I can't believe how easy they've been. But I do half kind of desperately want to change my hair and have them removed and have it short and dark right now, just because I'm like, it's been the same for so long, just my personality. So this has been it's been great, and sometimes I love it, and sometimes I'm like, I just want to do something different. I think probably before I have them taken out, I'll put some crazy colour in the bottom, just because I got to. But other than that, that's it for this update. If you have any specific questions, if you want me to do kind of a Q&A about the extensions when they all come out, leave your questions below. Thanks for watching this long and rambly video. I hope it's been useful to some of you maybe thinking about getting this kind of extension. I would highly, highly recommend it. But yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.